Hello everyone, welcome to Boost Your Development with pycharm. Thank you for joining me in this quick session. We are going to have the last day of the Odoo experience. If you have any questions during the talk, maybe you can scan the QR code. I'm going to give you a few seconds to do it. Then you can write some questions if you have any, and I will try to answer them later. Okay, everyone good? I see still some pointing people. Okay, you can find it later also in the Q&A. I will put it, and if not, you can follow the link path.odoo.com/p/boost in order to access this. I'm Javier Colmeiro, I'm software engineer. Here you have my email or my GitHub handle in case you want to contact me. I've been software engineer at BrainTech for 4 years, and in general working with Odoo for the last 10 years. We will try to have a little discussion about ADIs. Maybe Boost Your Development is a little overselling it, but we will try to figure out some stuff on why I'm using pycharm, or why in my company decided to adapt this for the current moment, and show you some tricks or things that can help your everyday life as a developer. So first of all, I want to introduce you my company. We are BrainTech. We are gold partner in Switzerland, Germany, and Austria. We won Best Odoo partner sometimes, 4 times specifically. We do Odoo full service. We are 100% dedicated to Odoo development and consultancy. And we've been working with Odoo since 2009. So there's been a lot of evolvement in the tools that we use for our everyday cases and the infrastructure and everything. First of all, the question will be why pycharm and not VS Code or Beam or Sublime or whatever, Nano, Emacs. There's also always a lot of discussions about there, and everyone has his preferences. Let me tell you a little story. Before joining BrainTech, I was developing with Sublime because my boss said to me, this is a great IDA, use it. And it was nice for a time, but I really struggled to manage the Python versions, the requirements, different servers, to switch context to the different projects, and be able to switch it between different clients and preferences, different services. So when I joined this, they told me in BrainTech, we are using pycharm. It's nice. Just gonna use it. And in the end, pycharm was designed for Python. Was designed with Python in mind. It has a really powerful add-ons ecosystem, and for me, in my case, I think it has great Docker integrations. In the end, just develop, because an IDI is an IDI, and you can even use any text editor to do it. But if you have some tools that help you in your everyday life as a developer, I think that is really nice. So, for example, pycharm has a lot of configuration settings, and it can be a little bit overwhelming for it, but it has a powerful search for the config, and then you can find stuff like that, for example, that you can automatically add an empty line in the end of your files when you are saving. This is really useful if you are using Flake8, for example, as a lint, and I was always forgetting to add the last empty line, so this saved me a lot of times to pass the GitHub CIs or all the checks. Another thing, or the first thing that you do as a developer, at least in our cases, is when you create a project, you have the relevant paths that Odoo Enterprise, your custom add-ons, OCA modules, or whatever, and you have to add it as market them as relevant paths in pycharm, or sources root in this case, because then it helps the system know or understand what are your most important fields. It will try to precast them, and then later the searches are going to be faster. Another thing that I think it has, one second because I cannot see my screen. Okay, a really nice tool that has pycharm is this kind of target icon on the left side of the screen. You can find it here. I don't know if you see it, but this one is to locate the actual tab that you are looking for in the file folder. Me as a developer, I tend to have like thousands of tabs open with a lot of files, and in the end I don't know exactly where I am, how to go what does this module? I want to explore it more, so I click this button, and then it automatically brings me to the file path of that with all the other files are there. It's really useful, and no more infinite scrolling to find your folders. Then another really useful thing, and I think this was maybe by default in Sublime or VS Code, is that you can enable the preview. So when you click through the files or with the scrolls or clicking or whatever, you can actually preview the files that you are clicking. If not, you don't have this setting, you have to double click, and every time you want to switch you have to close it manually, and I think that this is obnoxious to do it. So yeah, this is like a really good thing to have it for your productivity. No more double click, or yeah, no more closing tabs. So another good thing that has this ADI, or I use almost every day, is when you are creating new modules, for example, and you want to add a new bunch of fields for Odoo. In this case, imagine, I don't know, they are or chars or booleans or whatever, they're more or less similar. So you can select multiple lines and then start editing on all the lines at the same time. So you can define these new fields into your model, and yeah, you do it once, and you can also copy paste the stuff, but well, I mean, I prefer to do it that way if the system allows me. Following this topic, for example, we can also select all these files that we added to the model, and we are going to add them to a view. In this case, sadly, I think the pasting of the format was not okay, but well, we reformat it. Then we can again select them. Again, you can do it with Alt, but you can also do it with the middle button of the mousepad if you use mousepad, and then yeah, you can define your view there for all the things. You can scroll through the text and keep adding stuff there. So I think this is also good, and yeah, I think it's a nice trick to do multi-line edition. Then in general, as developers developing for Odoo, we have to master 3 kinds of search. One is to navigate the nightmare of Odoo domains and the polish notation, ands, ors, and all the stuff. Then you have to master how to locate finds in your computer to figure out where is Odoo, where are all the sources, and with find, grep, and all the command line tools. And the next one will be on GRDI in order to browse the actual code you are using. So in case of pycharm, we can open the advanced with Ctrl+Shift+F, and there we have a bunch of settings that are really useful. We have the search history to contain the recent searches you did. We can add new lines to do multi-line search. We can activate a match case in order to do case-sensitive searches with capital words or whatever. We can also search for whole words when checked, so we can identify whole words. This is especially useful for translations, when you are looking for translations. We can also use regex. Regex is really useful, a little bit overwhelming to or frightening to use, but there are currently a lot of tools to help you do it, and even AI can help you do it. So I guess it's also, we will look at it later. Then we can also set the file mask, so you can specify, for example, if you want to search stuff into py files, into XML. Even with this asterisk stuff, you could set, for example, *test/.py, and then you can only go into search into test files. So there is a powerful tool here to find things, and I think it's really important to learn to use it, and yeah, use it regularly. And in the end, you can also filter the results in comment strings. So yeah, really powerful tool. This is some examples of the regex that I typically use. You can also visit the regexrr.com website in order to figure out your regex, and if not, yeah, as I said, ask AI or try to learn a little bit how it is, but for me I find it a little bit difficult. So yeah, I typically use the same, so I keep that on a notepad, and I always have them when I want to search on a model definition, on a field definition, where does a change is, where a value is set. If I want to specifically search for an XML ID, do multi-line searching, and yeah. We can see here that I will copy paste here 2 of the regex that I showed before, and then we are going to search all the appearances of amount total under a sale order model, for example. So I do it like this, and then yeah, you can see in the screen that it gives you all the research. So I think the regex are really useful. You can also use them for search and replace, and yeah, to use it helps you a lot as a developer. Then, talking about the module ecosystems, one of the best models there were, or one of the most high points that pycharm had until recently, let's say, it was the Odoo ADI module. It was a purchasable add-on that gives you full comprehension of Odoo world. It was amazing because during this Odoo experience, some Odoo guys show a new language server module that is official by Odoo. So we will take a good look on that into that, and maybe switch to that in the future if it's open source and it's working good. I will link you to it later because I thought it really interesting. But for the moment, we use this because it has you full comprehension. It suggests you the values, the relational model for many-to-one, one-to-many. It helps you with the record rules, with all the models, even in JavaScript. So I think this is a really, really, really good tool that is really needed to work efficiency with Odoo development in pycharm. Also internally, one of our colleagues developed an add-on to be able to select databases in your Docker containers, because we are using a Docker Compose system with a web server and then the Postgres server. And this one allows you to select directly from the ADI what is the database that you are going to use, and you no longer need to use the database flags in your config or so you can just select them, refresh them, create them, delete them. So yeah, this is also a cool tool. So one of the other parts, or important parts on a developer life, is the Git management, and pycharm really gives you or provides you with really Git tools, so you can do all the Git history, managing branch exploring, diff changelogs, going through commits, manage your stuff, cherry pick, squash. Really useful. You can have branch selector, filtering. You can work on different features, and in the end, squash all the commits to have like a clean commit or keep it, whatever. So you don't have to go to the command line, and you can manage all this from here. Then another thing that you can do is, for example, if you are using GitHub for your pull requests, code reviews, CIs, and everything, you can actually connect to GitHub with the token or your personal token, and then you can access your repositories, and then you can actually view the pull request and perform your code reviews having the code here with the actual diffs. And I prefer to do this within pycharm because I don't have to change context, and I can collaborate with my colleagues in the team without going to GitHub itself. And also I have all the base code already there, so I don't have to use the search. I can actually see what is being changed and approve it, comment, or whatever. So yeah, it's nice that we also can do it without switching contexts. And for the moment, this is what I wanted to highlight here. Maybe if I have time, I will try to do like a little demo of how is our life with a new project in our company. But in the future, I think as a company we will need to look on the AI integrations, how they evolve. pycharm has been in a tendency that be a little bit behind AI models, because I don't know why, but they are adapting it slow, even though that, for example, Cloud has decided to create their own tool in order to connect to pycharm, so they don't have to wait for pycharm to integrate them or to approve their models. So we'll see. But as a company, we have to be really careful about the AI tools, what data we use them, what kind of licenses do you have. And so yeah, it's a really good, powerful tool, but I wanted to showcase anything here in this talk. Then another thing that we will be looking for is to dates and performance improvements. pycharm has a tendency to eat a lot of RAM and a lot of CPU sometimes, and VS Code is more light, more performance wise, but in the end we all have like powerful computers, so it's not that much of an issue. But yeah, it's one thing that we need to take into consideration. Then maybe a new IDI appears, or maybe highly integrated with AI, or a new actor that disrupts the market, and then we have to again adapt to it, try it, use it, and if it's better for us, yeah, why not to use it? If it helps, it helps. We need to check also for the new add-ons that are going to be appearing. For example, we had this need for the databases and we develop it ourselves. This is also possible for PyCharm or for VS Code. So I guess I encourage you, if you need a need, why not develop it? We are developers in the end, so we can develop also add-ons for the ADI. Here I also link you to the official Odoo ADI add-on. Odoo LS, that is the one that they presented 2 days ago. I will have a look of it, and I hope that this really works, because I really like to use open source and stuff. But for the moment, I try to test it, and it's a little bit limited. So yeah, hopefully with the love community is getting better and better in the future. And yeah, maybe not one of the things that the future is going to come is the dev containers, the remote development tools. We have tried it, we have explored it and spent time trying to do it, and we think that maybe in the end to have everything on the server and developing on the server would be an option in the future, but local management is always required, or is always handy. So yeah, for the moment we are not going to use it. And yeah, that would be it. Let me check if I can switch screen. So for example, I have 3 minutes, so I will try to be super quick about this. Typically, this is some of the icons that I was saying to you here. I was explaining about locating files and stuff. As a developer in BrainTech, we go to the settings, we go to the interpreters, we add one as Docker Compose. So we select our web, and automatically pycharms opens it, detects, okay, this is the version, let's add it. And yeah, we have a new Docker Compose with the remote Python. We have all the versions here already compiled and ready to use. I wanted to show you also the plugins page. So this is the one that we developed for the databases, and we have the Odoo ADI that it's really highly updated. So this already support for Odoo 19, and yeah, they keep it updating really frequently. And then, for example, we could use our add-on to select a database, and then what's our settings? Let's do a new one. So Python, and we are going to use Odoo. And then we are going to use the remote Docker Compose Python that we created. Okay, this is been 2, and yeah, we run it. It loads all the components. Hopefully it does the database. Okay, not found. So let's see this one. It will recreate the containers. It will try to touch it. This is currently extremely slow, I guess, because I'm sharing, and so typically it goes almost instant. So yeah, let's see. And now we have it live. So yeah, this is typically what we use and we configure, and in a matter of seconds we have switched project and we can start developing on a new project. And yeah, I guess so And that's it. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, I will be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you for the presentation. So we already have a few questions. The first one is how to debug JavaScript on pycharm community or professional?
Currently we are using professional, so this is the one that we are using, but the main debug of JavaScript, we are using just the website, the debug tools for Firefox. Or there is also a really good add-on, I think it's by Odoo, I'm not sure if by Jerry or so, and that allows you to have a full comprehension of all objects and allows you to develop it, to debug it better there.
Okay, thank you. How do you install Odoo IS, and have you tried it already?
Odoo LS, I didn't try it because sadly it's only available for the latest recent version of Odoo, of pycharm, and I was working with another one. I couldn't change it right now, so I didn't try it. I saw that they have like a really comprehensive GitHub page, and I think you can follow it and install it in a matter of some minutes.
Okay, so another one. Most of the features shown are also available in VS Code. What are the real strengths of pycharm and other JetBrains products?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is what I said at the beginning. Everyone has his preferences, and this is in the end, everybody does the same for the code, and we all develop more or less in the same way. We use pycharm specifically. What I think it's best is the support for the Docker Compose thing, or at least it's more handy in order to configure it. I have found myself in trouble to do it on VS Code, or it's more difficult, let's say. So I guess this is one why of my company decided to go with that. But in the end, it's just a matter of preference. An IDE is an IDE, and everything more or less do the same. And yeah.
Okay, thank you. Did you try Juni?
I didn't try it myself. Yeah, I would like to do it. Yeah, if it has also Odoo support and stuff, because in the end is what we really looking for, an IDE that is highly integrated with Odoo. I guess. Yeah, I will try it.
Okay, thank you. What is the plus value between community and pro version?
That I not really know, because I really started with the enterprise version, so I will need to check. I guess I don't know really what is the difference. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, another question. How do you manage multiple module development for different projects?
Okay. Typically we have different paths for different projects. So, and on every project also we have our specific Docker Compose files, so all our containers are there, and then we can switch contexts really fast between projects. And yeah, with just opening a new project on a new tab or on your tab, and yeah, you can instantly start developing another module. Use Git to add your repositories and all your code, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Another question is, do you run Odoo bin in Docker or in local machine?
In Docker, in my local machine.
Okay, and there's another question. How is the experience with the debugger?
Yeah, it's nice. It's for me it's seamless. The debugger works really good, unless on this, like I was doing that, if you are sharing a screen or something like that, the system tends to be performance or resource hungry, and then is when the debugger gets really slow. But if you are not sharing a screen or doing a talk or whatever, or in a meeting with someone, and you are in your local machine, the debugger works really nice.
Okay. Are you able to search in the code of all your projects with your setup? And another question is for when you know you've done something before but can't remember in which projects.
Okay, with this setup not really, because we isolate the projects, so we only open one project. I guess arguably we could open different projects there and try to search on them, but typically not. We try to use our mind, or if not, use the GitHub search in order to try to figure out of the madness of file systems.
Okay, thank you for your presentation and your answers.